welcome to Savage Corner. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. And you can have everything Savage Corner. Everything. All of it.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in again to the Savage Corner. Of course, we are back as always. We are your host. I am Wesley Pearson, and to the left, right, wherever she may end up being, is my lovely host as well, Summer Dean.
Hey, boo,
Of course, Summer is coming live from Houston, Texas. I am in Richmond, Virginia. We are super stoked about our episode today. We're actually going to ask, or Summer has come up with some questions for you guys to ask life coaches like myself, like her, because there's a lot of stigmatism around life coaching, how it works. These will give you an idea of how things are asked to us, how we react, how we respond to them. So I think that's a pretty unique turn, something we haven't done personally on our show yet, and I hadn't seen it anywhere else either, because some people don't know what a life coach really is and what they do. The other thing that we're going to go through is have an email, of course, at the end of the show, so make sure you tune into that email, because it's actually a really, really good one. It's about co-parenting. So hope you guys stick around to the end. Other than that, Miss Summer, what's going on?
You know what? Not a whole lot. I had a cute little baby shower for the room, the bathroom I just painted, the safari. It was my cousin's. It was very nice. I had a good time. How's your weekend been? Like, I feel like I barely talked to you this week because you're working and I'm working, and then the little bit of time that we have communicated, it hasn't been. We've just been kind of like this on watching the TV because we're both tired. So tell me about your week, babe.
Yeah, it just starting off with a new adventure as far as working is concerned. So I've been doing a lot of work because I'm in a training period right now. But it's fun. I'm getting out of the house, doing things, and still coaching and helping people as well too. Then of course content creation is a toll as well too. So that could take a lot of time to get all that together. I spend most of my days working, and then I come home and burn the midnight fuel on content creation and things of that nature. So that's what I have been doing. I mean, you started painting a heck of a lot more here recently. Now you
Dude.
start your YouTube channel. Make sure if you're not following her on YouTube, go follow her.
Yeah, that's where all my murals will be posted. I am definitely busy. Busier than I normally am, which is okay with me because, we all like money, but it's hard work. It's not easy work. What I do is not easy. So
No, it's not.
it's not. It's really hard work.
But I love all the murals, and if you guys are into artwork at all, go take a look at it. It's worth looking at. She's got several videos up right now. Again, I'll put the actual channel in the comments, but it's Miss Summer Dean on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll definitely make sure we put that in the comments or in the description for you as well too. But y'all go check it out, man, because she's done some stellar work here, especially here recently. I love the food truck. The food truck was
I know. The food truck was really cool.
yeah.
I enjoyed that. I think I'm going to do a sign for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You paint one thing, and they want you to come back and paint more. So, but it's super,
Yeah.
super good work. So, and we're gonna be putting up some more YouTube videos on the Savage channel or Savage Corner as well too. So you guys be on the lookout for that. Also, I've got everything going we're gonna have a Patreon. So it's just I'm waiting for it to be approved. So we're gonna have a paid community for you guys to come in and get away from all these damn jackals on Instagram and Facebook, and so that way I'm to a point where I'm just so sick of I'm sick of people complaining. It's not that at all. It's just I'm sick of them having to do it. They're commenting on things on Facebook and also Instagram, and then they're being droned by fake accounts and by people trying to swindle money out of them. Not just fake accounts of me, just fake accounts, period, which is aggravating as hell. They seem to attack pages like mine a lot.
They do.
So I just to a point where it won't be a huge cost for you guys to come in on a paid community That way we have control over who's there and who's not there, and keep these trolls out of it. It also is going to give you guys a community. So as you can imagine, all the people that follow me, if they come into the community, now we'll have a whole community of people, of like minded people. So that way we can open up and talk more in discussions. So I'm excited about having a Patreon. It's something I haven't.
I'm excited too. Like I'm excited to have conversations off of social media. I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
about that.
yeah. That's
So
the
we
whole
can
thing.
really get to know them and really, kind
Yeah,
of dive deeper into helping people. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and this will help. It'll help funnel down that community. So you guys know once it's up and running. If it's up and running before I post this, because this is now Saturday, of course, we're not going to post this till Wednesday. If it's up and running before Wednesday, I will actually pin it in the description. But if it's not up and running, of course, I won't do that yet. So you'll see it on the next video, definitely. But we'll start to promote it on our Instagram, and Facebook and TikTok channels. But yes, that's something new and exciting coming along the way as well too. So I appreciate all the love you guys have been following now on the podcast. Lots of subscribers on Spotify, which I'm proud of. iTunes is hitting as well too. And then if you guys are listening on those stations, make sure you come over and follow us on the YouTube channel, because there'll be more videos there that I obviously can't apply to Spotify and iTunes. So iTunes doesn't have
Yeah.
it yet. So
And if you have any questions or emails for us, you can email us at go.
Bearded Savage LLC. No, yeah, it's a beard. I can't even think right now. It's Bearded Savage LLC at gmail.com. That's Bearded Savage LLC at gmail.com.
You want me to remember that?
I say it every freaking show, but yet I couldn't get it right now
I
because it's like
know.
time
It's okay, babe. It's
crunch.
okay. So, you want to get started?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Yeah,
Now that we're
everybody.
everybody's doing okay, everybody's good. We're all good.
Yeah, everybody's great.
So I wanted to put together some questions to basically kind of understand the things that we help with. I think people are getting confused. So I just kind of wanted to run through some of the questions.
Go for it,
What
Mama.
do you think? You ready?
Oh,
Okay. What are some practical steps I can take to improve my self esteem on a daily basis?
you going first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
I can go first.
You can.
There's lots of things you can do. Men and women, definitely. Think about your appearance. If you're like for me, let's just break it down for the way I went through it. So after I went through my divorce, I actually dated somebody a year later, and during that dating process, I realized that I didn't have any clothes. Like I literally had like maybe 3 or 4 t-shirts. They had holes in them. My jeans were baggy and crazy looking. I didn't have my beard. Like there was lots of things I didn't have because I didn't know who I was, right? So I started going through and saying, okay, I like this, I like that. I came up with a style, and then I started to purchase clothing. I know purchasing clothing is expensive, but it's not as hard as you think it is, especially if you break it down for what it is. Buy a t-shirt or a shirt once every paycheck, and you'll start to build up a clothing apparel, or plenty of clothes for you to wear. But yeah, definitely sit down and think about the things that you like and a style that you want to come up with. That will help out a whole lot. Go to your hairdresser or barber, and definitely do something new, something different, something that you've always wanted to do. That's another way to help out as well too. And just start to feel better about yourself. Start to do things that you want to do. And people think of that as it helps with confidence level as well too, because you're now doing something that you love, so you're going to embrace it. You're going to become real knowledgeable about it, and when you have knowledge and you embracing, you're going to become confident in that particular stand, and then you can move on to something different. So, and these are all little tips to help you at least get started, because once you started it really gets easy from there. But you got to get somewhere where you're super confident in everything, and then you'll be able to go on to the next thing and do the same thing or same process. So, what do you think?
Well, I mean, since my whole basis is usually just building women's confidence, I think that we often let ourselves go because we get busy with life and we don't like think about taking care of ourselves or shading our legs as women, or like those things just don't cross our minds. And then one day we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're like, whoa, what in the world is going on with you? Wait, let's do something. But definitely, I think that people do well whenever they get their hair cut regularly. um, Even women. I know some women don't do it but every maybe once or twice a year. And that's okay. But go get a facial, go do something for yourself, and spoil yourself a little bit. And then don't feel guilty about spoiling yourself. And like, be good with the decision you made, and be good with yourself. And that could be part of starting your self confidence, is do like taking those little moments for yourself to start to feel better about who you are and where you want to be.
Yeah, yeah, no facts.
So,
I love the hairdresser slash barber thing. I mean, at least go for guys. At least, I mean, especially if you're dating guys, like you need to go to a barber, at maximum every 3 weeks, because you should be doing it every 2 weeks. But I understand financial situations, things of that nature. But you need to, you're going to want to look good and feel that confidence at any shake of a moment, because you just never know when a date's going to come about, you know?
mhm.
So it's super good for the confidence, but also just for your image itself, because you're constantly groomed and you're ready to go. Especially if you have a beard. If you have a beard, you want to be constantly groomed, so that way you can make sure you're always looking your best or your sharpest when that date comes along. Because never know, it might have been the one, but you looked crazy.
I mean, and it says, is this daily basis, babe? We were kind of going off like, go get your hair cut and, to start to take care of yourself, but start that. But on a daily basis, I think that you should really, really make a mental note in the mornings, like do some affirmations. And, and for me, my affirmations is I found one beautiful thing about my body every day. And I did this, y'all, for probably about a year and a half. And at first, there were none. I didn't like any of it. And then I just kind of went through, and I just literally could just kind of said, "Hey, I like my butt. Wait, I like my boobs. Wait, I like all my stretch marks. Wait." And I started to appreciate my body more, and before I knew it, like I was comfortable. I wasn't pulling on my clothes whenever we went out in public. Like, those affirmations you think that are so silly and so crazy help you. And I used to, if I didn't believe one day that I was beautiful, I would write that affirmation and put it in my kitchen and on my bed, on my mirror, on my bed, everywhere. So
Right.
that, like, a daily, it has to be daily.
Yeah. I mean, look at the mirror. Just stop, look at the mirror. Tell yourself you look great. Tell yourself that you're on top of the world. Tell yourself that you're amazing. Affirmations are super important to somebody. And it is. It's going to sound cornball as hell when you first start doing it. You're not going to believe yourself, but hearing it over and over again, it becomes an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. I do it when I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, look at this guy. To a point now where, like, I felt like I was ugly, because I was told that I was not attractive over and over again. But when I started telling myself that I was attractive, I just got to. I even said to Summer all the time, I'm like, "Hey, look at all this you got here." It becomes a totally different person, but it takes repetition, like she said. But I just want to make sure I warn people. Like I said when I first started this little ramble, it's going to feel corny at first, especially for guys. It's just like, what the hell am I doing? But it really is a different, you'll walk different. You'll
You
sound,
will.
so positive affirmation is a huge thing. and you got to do it to yourself. Not that you should do it to other people too, but doing it to yourself is super important. And I think a lot of people miss that, you know?
I be walking down the hall doing affirmations all the time, dancing, and Wes just like, "What'd you say? Nothing, nothing." But daily, you really, really, really need to take time. I mean, it only takes 4 or 5 seconds, but just like look at yourself and say you are worth it. You are great. You are beautiful. And pick one thing every day that you love about yourself. And
Right.
it doesn't have to be a physical thing. Like it could be your heart or whatever. But just start speaking nicer to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's another one. You ready?
Hmm.
How can I challenge and overcome negative self talk and limiting beliefs that hold me back from embracing self love?
Well, so that's the reason why I don't want to go too far on the first answer because it seems like when I do that, I always answer second or third questions. So, yeah,
Yeah.
affirmations. That's it's key. You know what I mean? It's something you have to do to get yourself moving in the right path. So, but um, there's also an app. I wish I wasn't using my phone as a camera right now. I tell you what, if I can get the app, I'll pin it down in the description for YouTube. But there's an app that will actually give you a pathway to giving yourself affirmations. My son actually got it from his counselor, and it helps him.
I have one and it's called I Am.
I think it's the same one, but I don't know. Again, I'll pin it in the description.
It's
Definitely.
a good one.
Yeah,
That one's a good one.
yeah.
We'll
Because
pin both of them if they're different.
right, because it's little things like, and I still do it. And Summer catches me all the time. I think you caught me today doing it, but it's just like you do something wrong, like, oh, I'm an idiot. You got those are the kind of things you got to stop doing. You know, you have to stop using I'm dumb or I'm stupid or I'm an idiot or I'm fat or I'm ugly or I'm not good enough. Like you'd be amazed how often you use these words and you don't even realize you're doing it until somebody will bring it to your attention.
I did I always whenever I get aggravated with myself, I'm like, I'm so fucking stupid. Like I say that to myself, but then I heard my kids start to say it. And they sounded just like me. And I was like, no, we gotta change this. So every time now I say, change your words, change your words,
Yeah,
change your words.
yeah, definitely.
So, number 3, what strategies do you recommend for setting realistic goals that align with building confidence and self worth?
Yeah, and that's there's lots of things you can do. I would use that to tell most people to set different sets of goals. So you should have like a yearly goal, you should have like a 6 month goal, you should have like a 30-day goal, and then hell, you can even have a daily goal of getting out of the bed every day. If that's what you need to get started, especially if you're somebody that deals with depression. But you need to have obtainable goals because a lot of people will come in and say, okay, 6 months from now, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's a great mindset, but it may not be a great goal, but to work towards that, that's fantastic, but yeah, have multiple stages of goals, not just, all yearly or all 2 year or 5 year, have multiple stages of goals. And like I said, make them reasonable, but don't make it so low of a bar that you're stepping over it instead of jumping, you know what I mean? But definitely give different stages of goals and also make sure they're not too low. You can go online. ChatGPT will probably help you out with it. Be honest with you, there's lots of things you can do to try to find out what obtainable goals are for the situation that you're in. So you can have different goals like I want to lose weight. You can have another goal of I want to make more money. You can have another goal of I want to be more trendy. I want to post more online. I want to go on 6 dates. It's you can have these different goals. Just make sure they're obtainable and they're healthy for you in your new lifestyle.
So I do agree. I think whenever people start to heal, they have everything that's in front of them is an unrealistic goal at the moment. Like and they say the word I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Those things, those are all negative, negative, negative Nancy's, and we don't use those words. So I think a good first realistic goal is just catching those negative words, catching them and saying, "Hey, I don't like it when I talk to myself that way." And I tell myself, "I don't like this. It hurts my feelings. Let's not talk to ourselves this way." And you would be surprised at how many times that even whenever I'm painting and I say something negative to myself and I don't even realize that I did it, and I'm just like, "What? You need to talk nicer to yourself." And I'll say it out loud, like, "What are you doing right now? Get out of, you know." So if just those little bitty things, and you think that you're not going to be able to do it, but eventually you do get it, and eventually you do start to focus on the good and focus on what you want, and then your goals grow, and then you add something in there and you start exercising, or you say, I'm gonna start walking in nature for 10 minutes a day barefooted. Like this lady, 10 minutes a day, she lost, didn't do anything, drank water, stopped eating after 7 o'clock at night, went and walked 10 minutes a day in her little local, like in her garden and through her yard, and she lost like 75 pounds just by that one thing changing. And now she walks more, but just just understand that those goals grow with you as you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the only thing I want to add to it is what you just said. So, if you have a weight loss goal, I struggle with weight. Okay, and I just want to make sure people understand a weight loss goal is super hard, but don't compare your challenge or your journey to somebody else's journey.
No.
Just keep doing it because
Mm-hmm.
don't get lost in that person lost 90 pounds on this diet and I can't lose a pound. Don't get lost in that because everybody's body is different. You know what I mean? So don't allow somebody else's success to be your demise.
Yeah.
Just keep, don't stop. I'm not stopping. I've been trying to lose weight and keep it maintained shit since I was 8 years old. So again, some people's bodies are just different, but be confident within what you have because you are the only version of yourself. There's nobody else better at being you than you. And that's what you need to get to, that level of thinking.
And nobody is going to talk to you as bad as you talk to yourself.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yep. You're your worst critic.
You really are. Um, you ready for the next one?
Show am.
It says, are there specific mindfulness and self care practices you suggest for fostering a stronger sense of self love and acceptance?
You don't go first with that one? You got your hand raised. Get it, mama. Get it.
I'm going to say meditation and prayer. If you meditate, you need to meditate. If you sit and pray, then you need to sit and pray. I don't care which one you're doing, but they're both good for you, and it teaches you to quiet your mind down long enough for you to actually sort through the crazy chaos that's going on in your brain. Like if you we have all of these thoughts, we have kids, we have husbands, and we have dogs, and the yard needs to be mowed, and my laundry needs to be folded, and there's dreads everywhere all over my room. Like all of these things are in the way, and you have to be able to calm yourself and meditate and pray and say, I and ask yourself, I need help with this. What do I need to do? Like, let's sort this stuff out. Like, I have too much going on right now and I'm overwhelmed. And then you start to be more caring with yourself, really. I think.
Right.
I know but that's,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think,
I
baby?
agree. I agree 10,000%. I would say one thing that you can do for yourself is journaling. Another thing that you can do for yourself is journaling. And the third thing that you can do for yourself is journaling. It's super important. People overlook it all the time, especially dudes. We don't like to write, and we don't like to
Mm-hmm.
put stuff down that somebody's going to find because we're not in touch with our emotions to begin with. But writing is super huge. I'll do a short plug. our books on Amazon, Savage Shadows. That's a great book. We also have our other book that we have an ebook as well too. It's called Finding Me.
Finding
Of
me.
course, yeah, we'll get that to Amazon soon. But those are two good, helpful. They kind of walk you through journaling and how to process it. Because a lot of times we just don't know how to do it. You know, it's not just
Mm-mm.
writing a bunch of words down. There's meaning behind it, or there's an intent behind it. The other thing too is it's really helpful for me, and I've never seen a person where it didn't help, but you allow it to happen. Go get to a body of water, whether it be a
Oh
lake,
yeah.
if you have a river, something with noise as it's moving, ocean, hell, if you got to go in your bathroom, cut the damn sink on, do it. Something to drown out sound. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the whole idea, really. When I go to the river near my house, which is my place of clarity, the world stops,
Hmm.
and there's nobody there but me. There's a million people at the river. It's a great place. A lot of people go. I wouldn't know those people were there because the sound will literally drown everything out.
Hmm.
Summer's been there with me. You have to literally like get close and talk to each other. It's so loud,
Yeah.
and that's the whole idea: is just drown the world out. Get to yourself. Treat it like in your relationship that didn't work because a lot of these people are divorced that follow us. It didn't work probably because you weren't going on dates. Yourself. Like
Yeah.
literally, I say the rule of three. Every 3 days, talk to yourself instead of talking to your partner because you ain't got one anymore. So every 3 days, talk to yourself. Every every 3 weeks, at least at minimum, take yourself on a date, and then once every 3 months, go to a weekend trip, and then once every 3 years, if you go that long without somebody, go on a damn vacation. Um, Treat yourself like your partner, and you'll start to get that self respect.
Absolutely.
I
I liked it. You got a golf clap, buddy.
got a golf clap. Okay, all right. How about fireworks? Oh, there it goes.
I didn't get any. It's not fair whenever I don't get them and you do.
Mhm.
Okay. How can I develop a positive mindset that supports my journey towards greater confidence and self love, especially during challenging times? This is my specialty.
Your specialty.
This is my specialty.
Your specialty is doing it, or actually something constructive to help people when they're doing
And something constructive, Wesley. Okay.
it.
So, oh, y'all, I'm so. Whenever I say I'm rough on myself, like, I judge myself, like, I talk mean to myself. I never call myself fat and I never tell myself that I'm ugly or anything like that. It's just like if I've made a choice on something and something else comes up and I'm like, "Ugh," like I just get aggravated with myself because, well, anyways. But I think that whenever we are, no, let's see, when when we're starting our path, right, and we're driving along and we're healing and we're thinking about things and we're very emotional and we cry a lot and we forget to look of the good things that's happening. We forget about all of the good things whenever we are in those negative thoughts. So be like, start to be grateful. Even if you're not grateful, be grateful for everything that comes to you. Like, that is the best way to start positive because then you actually start to be grateful for everything. So be grateful. Which state, Daddy?
No, yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. The only thing I'd add to it again is a good thing it's a journal. Another thing, good thing it's a journal.
Hey,
Another good
y'all,
thing is
I
journal.
think he wants you to journal.
Well, when you
I'm
when
pretty
you when you
sure.
when you come into my life coaching, like that's one of the biggest things that I touch on: journaling, 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 and I provide journals for you too. So it's crucial. It's so crucial.
Journal. Everybody, journal. This is going to be my ringtone for you. Journal.
I'll take
I know
it.
you will. I know you will. Y'all, nobody ever said that this stuff is easy, and believe me, it's not. And I have learned so much more, and I have been so much more empathetic to people, and on my on my way to just find myself. Like, I'm attracting like-minded people, and I'm doing things that I enjoy, and that brings like-minded people to me. So be grateful.
Like my video said, raise your vibration and then you become magnetic.
Remember, energy is vibration. So if you have a higher vibration, your thoughts are going to be more positive. You're going to be in a better mood. If you're depressed and you are in your bed, get up and go outside and take your shoes off and put your feet on the ground every day for 5 minutes. It's called grounding or earthing. Look it up on Google. I'm not a professional.
You're a professional earth walker.
I'm a professional earth walker.
I believe it. No, but there, and then again, I'm gonna go with the guys again. Like, it's gonna seem super corny if you ever try it, but when you start doing it, you'll realize the benefit of it. It's insane. I just can't say enough about it. So
It's just energy, negative energy, positive energy. It has to both go somewhere. So let's just release it back into the earth through the soles of our feet.
right,
Everybody
no,
works off of energy.
yeah, absolutely,
Energy cannot be destroyed or made.
exactly.
There we go.
Do we have another question, or was it other questions?
That was all the questions. Did I
Sweet.
write them right? Like, did I do good? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
no, that they're great because it gets. I would even tell people to go back and write them down. And if you don't choose me as a life coach, ask a life coach those questions.
Yes.
See what kind of answers they come up with because they were great.
Okay. Hey,
So now we're gonna go into the email.
I think we are. I think we're ready for an email.
Sweet.
I
All
don't
right,
think
guys.
I've
So
re- I don't think I've read this email yet.
no, you haven't. I just sent it to you.
Thanks.
So for this portion of the show, we actually take an email from people that write into us, whether it be for coaching or for just to be read on the podcast because they want people's opinions. You guys get into the comment section and you comment on what you're hearing because that will help out as well too. A lot of our Instagram and YouTube channels and all these other channels, they're successful because you guys are in the comments and you're able to have an open up dialogue with somebody that may think just like you do. So get in the comment section and write comments based on what you feel like you're hearing and how you would help that person go in a different direction. Dialogue is always helpful. So, but when you write into the show, you guys are always welcome to write into the show. Um, we will not read your name. These are not, um, we are not professionals. These are all based on opinions, just based on a whole lot of life experience. So when you guys email the show, the place to email is beardedsavagellc@gmail.com. Again, that's beardedsavagellc@gmail.com. Of course, I'll put it here on the bottom of the screen and in the description as well too. So go for it, Summer.
I was trying to get fireworks. Didn't work.
You can't be cool like me.
You know what?
Oh,
You're
it
not
didn't
going to
work.
get them now because you said I wasn't cool like you. I'm way cooler than you are, Wes.
I got thumbs up. What? Oh wow! All right, go for it, babe.
Okay, you ready?
Mhm.
This is hello. I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out because I could use your guidance. I've been dealing with regarding co-parenting and its effects on our kids. Yep.
The fun topic.
As a father trying to navigate co parenting, I've noticed some issues that worry me, especially when it comes to how our children's ages 8 and 12 are handling things. There have been times when negative things were said about me in front of them. I'm going to tell y'all something. Do not say negative things about the other parent. it never works out well.
You know,
Then it
and
causes children to want to protect you, and then they're going to lie to you, and it just. Go ahead, babe. You want to say something? Sorry.
you're like you want to murder.
I do.
um, the biggest thing I could say is right off the bat is that it's really hard. I get it. I mean, normally a divorce wasn't pretty. You guys have separated. Usually, one person didn't want the other person to go, and there's going to be animosity. There's going to be anger. But she's right. Like you have to get to the point where you don't say the things in front of the children. If you want to go off when they leave, that's fine. If you want to go off with one of your friends, that's fine. But don't do it to your children. It just doesn't. It doesn't make for a great situation.
It doesn't, ever. And it's been a real impact on how they feel about sharing important stuff with me.
There you
Yeah.
go.
For example, our son has mentioned feeling confused and hurt when he hears things like dad always messes things up or dad never listens. Our daughter, too, feels caught in the middle when things turn negative between us. What makes it even harder is that I've tried talking to their mom about it, but it often leads to arguments. Well, that's probably because that's why I got a divorce in the first place.
Right, because the communication wasn't great to begin with.
Yeah. This tension sometimes makes our kids afraid to talk about important things when they're not with me, and that's something I want to change. I want our kids to feel safe and comfortable talking to both of us about anything that's on their minds, especially if something important or if they feeling upset about something. I believe it's crucial for their emotional well-being or for us to be good co-parents. Absolutely, I totally agree with you, and you are looking at that correctly.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad that he has the mindfulness of all this. Now the question is, are you doing the same thing though? Because when they bring it back to you, do you turn around and say something negative about her? Is
Yeah.
that what or between the two of y'all? That would be the kind of questions that I had to ask if he was sitting in my chair or through my Zoom screen if we're having like a coaching session. But I
Hmm.
want you to keep going.
Um, I value your experience and insight, especially as a coach. Could you share some advice on how to handle these conversations better with their mom? Do you want me to ask you, or do you want me to read it all? How can I make our kids feel supported and heard no matter where they are?
Yeah, I didn't want to make sure that I didn't like interrupt answer the question. It seems like we go off on a tear, and then the next part of the email is what we were trying,
I know,
is
I
what we were
know.
saying anyway. So I just wanted to make sure that was the end of it.
Yeah, that
Um,
was the end of it.
you mind if I just jump on it, or
Oh no, go ahead. I'll say my stuff. You know that.
yeah. So
I
I
got
mean
an opinion about everything.
I think we all have an opinion about this one. So I mean, the hard, like I said before, the hardest thing is that there's some type of animosity when you guys divorced. I get it. I went through a divorce myself too. So, but you can't drive that into the children's laps. Okay, you have to find a way to make comments and say things in a positive direction, and then wait for there's nobody there to be negative if you have to be negative. But it's just understand that everybody's different. A lot of times when you guys divorce is because you didn't parent the same way. Okay. So not it may not be in this particular situation, but I've seen situations where it's just a different style of parenting. The kid's safe. There's nothing wrong with the kid. There's nothing going to be wrong with the child. It's just y'all don't agree on the way that the child's actually being raised. That can happen, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that you have to do is to take your selfish wants and needs out of the scenario and think of what's better for the betterment of your children. Period. Period. I don't care if it doesn't make you feel good, makes you feel like crap, makes you feel like you don't want to do this anymore. If it's the betterment for your child, then that's the steps that you need to take. I am
Always.
seeing I am seeing way too many selfish parents out there. Way too many selfish parents out there. Even to the point, like for me, for instance, let's say that I have, somebody I'm involved with, and that person ends up not being so great, and I'm living with them. I'm going to take my children and I'm going to go down to their mother's house and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to need you to watch the kids for a few days. I need to handle something at my house. I need to get rid of some energy, some negative stuff, and then we'll get back to parenting as usual. That's me removing my selfish wants and needs for the betterment of my child. Parents need to do better at stuff like this.
They do.
Okay. It's not a competition. It's not a war. It's not who's beating who and who's winning. It's raising children in a better environment than what you could provide when you guys were together. Period.
Yeah, all the way. I can say that too many times when parents are hurt with one another and stuff like that, they do say stuff in front of their children, and regardless of the age, it never ends well. Like, it hurts their feelings. They remember that you feel that way about the other parent. They start, that triggers them to be like, go in reclusive mode, so they're not talking to you anymore about anything because they're afraid to say anything at all.
Yeah.
So it never works out. And there shouldn't be, if something happens at mom's house or if something happens at dad's house, the kids should be able to talk about it freely, and they should be able to say positive things about that. I promise you're not the first person that has complained about this, because there's usually always one parent that doesn't say anything about the other one. So, you know, I prided myself to not speak illy of my children's father, and I still won't do it.
Yeah.
So,
And like you said, and I said, it can. I know. I understand. It can be tough. And like I said, on the reverse side of it, if the kid comes home and says, "Mom said this," you can't lash back out at him either, saying, "Well, mom isn't, this. Mom is this, and this." Like it brings the child to the middle of it, right? So you can't go back and forth. Your best bet, his best bet, is if this is truly one sided and you've brought it to her attention, she's not listening to you. Your best bet, as long as they're safe and there's not anything wrong, and they don't believe the things that they're being told, that's your job. And the way you do that is by making sure your household shows that. Okay. Eventually, the children will grow up to resent the person making the comments. Okay. But you have to provide that. By you lashing back, you are now bringing yourself to the same playing field,
yeah,
and that's not where you want to be. It's not a fair game. You need to play above that person. So when they come home with this mess, dismiss it. Okay. Say, hey, do you think dad's that? No. Cool. Then we're not going to worry about it. Let's move forward. That's exactly the conversation.
yeah,
I don't think you can word the conversation any better than that.
no,
So, and that's what you need to do, because the other thing too, as a man, you have to understand that that's their mother. And do you want your children raised in an environment where you're bashing their mother because she lashed out at you? No. Do you want your children to grow up and lash out at their wife? Because that's what you're breeding,
yeah,
when you have that behavior. So your best bet is to let the child or children develop their own opinion, so that they don't resent somebody for formulating the opinion for them, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to get older and they're going to say, dude, all you did was bash mom or bash dad, and you made me feel like I was wrong for loving them. That's their resentment. So you don't have to worry about that, because you're going to provide an environment of love and care and kindness, because we don't do that kind of shit at my house. That's what you're going to provide for them, and they're going to love you for it and resent the other party. So your best way is to just build the environment that you're trying to build within your home and let the children see that.
and just like with everything else, be consistent with what you do and how you handle it.
Yeah, big time, big time. Because you're gonna have some parents that believe in spanking, and then some parents that don't believe in it at all. They're gonna have some parents that believe in yelling, and you're gonna have some people that believe in compromise. You're gonna have some people that believe in being able to use curse words, and some people that are not gonna want to use curse words. So
I
that
was a
there's
yeller and a
gonna
cusser.
right? There's gonna be all these different dynamics of household, but your job is to provide love and a place for them to flourish. That's your real job.
Absolutely, that's the main
So
thing.
again, just don't get into the back and forth competition, and don't ever make your child feel like they were wrong for bringing it to your attention. Because that's usually what happens is the way this argument happens is one child comes home from one parent's house, says, mom and dad said this about you, and then mom or dad goes off on the co-parent, right? And then the co-parent and them get into an argument. So now this child has caused y'all to argue is what he feels like or she feels like. And then they go back over to the co-parent's house and then they get mad at them for telling the other parent what they said. So now they're being punished for being honest. It just creates this nasty web of bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, I've been caught up in it, but I'm not going to allow it anymore. You know what I mean? I
No.
just don't. There's no point. When you get to this back and forth, and your kid's in the middle, he's not a net. He's literally getting pegged in the head with a ball over and over again.
Yeah. Like
It's
it
going to
just
tear.
doesn't, like we just, like we divorced because we weren't happy. Now the baby didn't ask to be there, okay? Nobody said, "Hey, have me and then split up because that's what I want." Nobody said that, right? It's not their fault. You can't be mad at what they say, because if one parent said something and the other parent saying something and it's all negative, that kid's just gonna, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah,
Just come
yeah,
together. I mean, shit. I stayed in my marriage for 22 years for my kids, and it wasn't bad. Like, those were I did everything for them. I never put myself first, and that was my mistake, and I know that now. But that's what I'm saying. Like, just, you have to put them first. You have to stop talking. I don't care how bad that person did to you. That's their parent. That parent didn't do that to that child.
yeah. And they shouldn't grow up thinking they have to defend the other parent
No,
either.
no.
That's another big one. That child should not have to go defend his mother or his father to his mother or his father,
Yeah, that's right.
ever.
Those are
Yeah.
supposed to
So
be your safe people, like the people you trust your whole everything.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
just keep that in mind. Especially, I know women get mad and aggravated and just don't talk bad. It just ends. It ends badly.
Yeah. So, but my actual advice would be, um, try working it out, try talking to them, explain the outcome of what's going to happen to the children, not so much the way you feel about it. So that way that the other co-parent can see it from the child's eyesight and not from your eyesight, because they probably could care less about you. That's the way divorce works. um, but yeah, try to open up dialogue. If dialogue's not working, then get a counselor involved, not only for you and her, but for the child as well too, because the children are going to need to speak about this kind of stuff too. um, they will actually counsel the whole family, whether they're together or not. So there's plenty of counselors out there that can do that. Life coaching can help, but I'd rather see this more to a counselor because there's too many parties involved.
Yeah,
I can help you on establishing yourself not to feel like this, but I couldn't help the entire family. So I'd love to see you guys go to a counselor, to work these kind of things out. Understand too, there's legal standings behind this. That's slander or conduct that could be detrimental to yourself. And it's actually a legal thing where you could actually take somebody to court for it. So that's another avenue that you have to take as well too, because that if that's done at a harsh rate, then they're not providing the proper environment for the children to thrive. Then that needs to be talked about too. Hopefully, none of this is this harsh though. If you can just simply go to a counselor, have all parties talk about it. If you can't speak about it, maybe email, or text if that works better for you. But there's plenty of areas where you can get help, in this aspect. So
yeah. When they're mad women, they run their heads. Sometimes I don't think that they think that they're doing that or doing any damage. You know what I mean? Especially when the kids are 8 and 12, they probably already heard some stuff. So it does, though. It does damage. It does damage to the babies.
it does
Family
absolutely.
counseling is great for families. If you haven't done it and nobody's communicating, go to family counseling. Go find a family counselor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So,
Well, that was the end of the email. You got any closing thoughts?
um, communicate. Say positive affirmations to yourself. Take time for yourself every day. I know we say this, but I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, until everybody on earth does it.
All right. Well, I don't have anything to add except for, just stay positive, guys. Be better parents, be better co-parents, be better people.
Yeah.
All these situations are rough, and I know it's hard sometimes, but just care about yourself just a little bit more than you care about other people, but care about other people as well too.
The only thing we can control are the words that come out of our mouth.
Absolutely. You cannot control somebody else's actions. I can tell you that much.
Nope.
Definitely not. All right, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you guys next week. We appreciate you guys. Stay savage.
Peace, love, and light.